How has this how's this transition been? Has it been kind of a whirlwind these past few months?
It has been a whirlwind. That's a great word for it. In fact, that's what I was going to say when I got over here. I know they're going to ask me that.
Okay.
It has been a whirlwind. It's been an adjustment. Football is football,
Right.
but you know, being under Coach Venables on defense, you know, I've learned a ton, learned a lot. Lot of defensive calls, a lot of things, but just the day-to-day schedule, the recruiting aspect of it is different. You know, I've been on the other end of it, so you know, so I have a great understanding of it. But you know, just the day-to-day activity, what you got to do, and building relationships in the recruiting process, and then maintaining the relationships you have, you know, at Clemson. So, you know, it's been a whirlwind. And getting my family up here, getting them situated. I have 2 little boys, so getting them in school, getting my wife plugged in, and all that. So,
is it? I mean, when you take this job, do you approach it like I've had other jobs before? I know how to begin jobs, or is it kind of like, oh my gosh, I'm joining a national championship staff, and you know I've got to fit in as best I can and make things happen.
Yeah, I think
right
the transition coming in as an analyst, you know, I was so involved into the game plan last year, and I've been doing this now for 20 years.
Yeah.
So the football part I was really comfortable with, and coming in and trying to add on to what they were already doing staff-wise, and try to bring my own flavor to it. But you know, it is a great staff, and a lot of these guys, you know, have been coming through my school for years.
Yeah.
So you know, I've had relationships with those guys for a long time.
Yeah.
But you know, I've always been I'm excited to be able to learn from those guys, and then add a little bit of my own flavor to it.
I was gonna say, as an analyst, you probably got to know these guys pretty well anyway. So you taking a different role in the program probably wasn't that much of a
that was an easy step, and you know, I think Coach Sweeney, you know, I think he did it the right way, you know, in bringing me up that way. So it was good. I am sad, you know, that they have that new rule in now for the high school coaches. You know, you can't come in as an analyst.
Yeah.
You got to jump right in as an assistant coach, which is hard. You know, it's hard to justify that as in a big time program like Clemson. So very thankful for the opportunity that Coach Sweeney's given me.
Coach Venables was talking before over there about coaching the coaches, and sometimes you've got to do that, and he's had to do that a little bit, I guess, with you and Todd, just getting you guys up to speed about what
there's no question. I mean, Coach Venables he's an unbelievable coach, and even a better person, and he's been you know, we have to learn his language and his terminology and the way he calls things. You know, a lot of people play cover 3, but there's you know 4 or 5 different ways you can run it. You know, and we got to get on that same page and different ways that you call it, and all the blitzes are different. So he's had to bring Todd and I up to speed with how he wants that, and you know, so he's got one on the front end, one on the back end. So, and then of course he's right in the middle, and you know how intense he is. So he's really been a great leader for Todd and I.
How have the guys adjusted to you back there now? The safeties adjusted to you back.
Yeah, I think they're adjusting well.
Yeah.
You know, they had a great summer. They're doing good academically, and they had a great spring. You know, and whatever I've asked them to do, they've done. So I've been really pleased with their effort. I've been pleased with their attitude. So I think it's been good so far.
Talk about the roster that you got at safety and the players you got to work with this year. You got Van coming back, you got Tanner coming back, and behind them you got a couple unknowns like Isaiah Simmons.
Right.
What do you see there with the talent you got at the safety position?
Well, I think we're very talented. First off, Van brings experience to the safety position. And he'll go and play to the field this year. You know, where he was playing into the boundary last year. You know, that could always change, but that's how we did it in the spring, and he did very good. I think that's a better fit for him over there. He's got good speed, good quickness, but he's got a good knowledge of the game and can be a quarterback on the field for us. He's really smart. You know, his dad was a high school coach, so he grew up in that. And having played, you know, 15 games last year and won a national championship, you know, I'm looking for him to improve and become a leader for those other guys. when you talk about Tanner Muse, I think he's unbelievably talented. People don't have a clue of how good this kid really is. And you go back and you watch the games last year. When he gets in the game, big plays happen. I mean, from a block punt in the national championship game, picks off a pass. I think it's against Syracuse, runs it back for a touchdown. Kid runs a 4.3 40. I mean, he weighs 220 something pounds. He is super talented, super smart. I think that was, the thing that he's really grown with is learning the defense, learning the language, and how everything is. And he's had an outstanding spring and summer. And then Isaiah, he's playing about 3 different positions. He's playing the safety position, he's playing the nickel Sam, and he's playing some dime. So he's had to learn a lot. And the thing I like about him is, when you turn the lights on, that kid, he can play. You watch him in practice, and every now and then he might struggle, because he's trying to get the scheme right or trying to get the call down. But when we scrimmaged, it was like a different person got into his uniform. And I mean, he just made play after play after play. He's a big time hitter, physical, made plays on the ball. He's long, he's fast. He ran a 4.31 the other day when we timed him. Unbelievable talent. Then Denzel Johnson will be battling it out over there at the field safety, and he had a great spring, great summer, and he may be the quickest. His transitional change of direction may be the quickest of all of them. It's going to be a matter of him. He needs to come out there and be confident in himself and his ability, because he's got the ability to be a playmaker back there. And then Nolan Turner is, I don't think people understand how good he is. He comes from a great high school program in Vestavia, and then his footwork and his back pedal and his transitional movement and his hips in particular are probably the best on the team. I mean, he can really flip his hips and swivel. And of course, his dad played several years in the NFL, so he comes with that pedigree. But I think he's a very talented.
I need to grab it for radio real quick.